Hey you guys, this is Tabitha back with another video. I'm so excited to be here. That was so extra. That was OD. Nah, but hey you guys, I am back with another video. I'm so excited. I know that I promised you guys this Sunday, but I've been extremely busy, booked and busy, doing a little bit of everything. Honestly, you name it, I've been doing. Nothing crazy though, all productive. But yes, I wanted to go ahead and give you guys a presentation, but before we get started, I do want to let you guys know that my storage is low, so I will be doing my videos in snippets. So if my videos seem a little bit choppy, that's why, but I'm gonna do my best to try to keep everything aligned. Okay, now for those of you who do not know me, my name is Tabitha Brown. I am a published author of 2 books. My 3rd book is pending. I will be releasing that next year, February, March, the latest of 2026. My first book, it's called The Fight I Kept Within Me. I started writing this when I was in high school. It's been about 8 years. 8 years since I've been writing, so it's been almost a decade. Not too much on my hardback copy because at the time I did not have a computer. I didn't have a computer, so I was in the library literally for hours trying to get everything accomplished, and just I was a new writer, so I was trying to get everything up and running, and obviously I succeeded. So you can find this on Amazon, Kindle. You can find this on Amazon for paperback, hardback, and digital version. So yes. As for my second book, I did release this this year, 2025, this year, March of 2025, excuse me. This is called All Grown Up. This is a sequel to The Fight I Kept Within Me. You can also find this on Amazon. I have that for a paperback, hardback copy, as well as digital version. Please support. I do appreciate you guys much. Now, with the presentation that I gave to my high school kids, I actually did this on the 29th. So I did Halloween theme, but overall the subject itself was pretty much about fear. So let's go ahead and get into it. I believe I covered everything about me. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. My favorite quote in reference to fear is this: face your fears and doubts as new worlds will open up to you. He who is not every day conquering some type of fear has not yet learned the secret of life. Fear is a reaction. Courage is a decision. Okay? All right, so what is fear? For those of you who do not know that acronym, I am going to break it down for you. Fear is basically the false evidence of it being real. I'm pretty sure we all heard that quote before, right? Right. All right, so to break it down in a little bit more depth, fear, according to the English dictionary, is an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or a threat. Okay? Now, with human beings, we all have our core types of fears. You get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go ahead and go into depth about those certain types of core fears. So we have fear of loss / change. So that basically entails fear of losing control, comfort, or what you may value. All right. And then we have fear of rejection. Fear of rejection pretty much entails fear of not being loved or accepted. Now, we also have fear of failure. Fear of failure pretty much is the fear of not being good enough. And then we have fear of the unknown. That pretty much entailing fear of uncertainty or what can't be controlled. And then we have fear of pain. Fear of emotional or physical hurt. Now, last but not least, we have fear of death, the root fear behind many others. Now, all fears stem from losing love, safety, or identity. Identity awareness is the key to pretty much overcoming them. So pretty much understanding and figuring out who you are as a person can pretty much bring you awareness of what your fears actually are, if that makes sense. All right, so what impact does fear have on the brain? Now, this is actually good. This is awesome sauce because I just wanted to give y'all some good key factors on what fear actually, how it triggers the brain, because it really does. But I really wanted to, get into the nitty gritty when it comes to that. So I'll be right back. I'm breaking these up in snippets, so give me some time. All right, so we are back, guys. All right, so what impact does fear have on the brain? Now, to get into depth about that particular question itself, it says fear triggers a fight, flight, or freeze response in the brain by activating the amygdala, which signals the nervous system to release stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. And then this pretty much leads to a cascade of physical reactions, including increased heart rate and blood pressure, of course, faster breathing, tense muscles, and dilated pupils. As shown in particular images, that pretty much depicts that the amygdala and its connections to the rest of the nervous system. I am not for sure if I pronounced that correctly, but it is spelled AMYGDALA. Okay? Yes. All right. So that was that. Now on to the next. How can we use fear to our advantage, and how can you control it? Sometimes we get out of whack with controlling how our fears pretty much control our body and how we pretty much react from that. So, as stated before, how can we use fear to our advantage, and how can we control it? All right, so you can use fear to your advantage by reframing it as a motivation and a signal to take action rather than letting it paralyze you. So don't become stuck. When you in situations like that, identify what it is, change your mind, change the outcome, identify what that fear is, and pretty much turn it into a motivation. Like, don't sit stagnantly in that fear. Identify it, come up with a solution, and pretty much figure out how you can pretty much turn that negative into a positive, which is basically turning that fear into motivation. Okay, hopefully that made sense. All right, so to control fear, identify and understand it. Break down large fears into smaller steps and practice facing your fears in a controlled manner to build confidence. This approach can turn fear into a driving force for growth preparation. And growth, Reframe your mindset as stated before. Adopt a growth mindset by viewing fears and roadblocks not as an end, but as a sign that a different strategy is needed. Remind yourself that thoughts are not reality and many fears are irrational, okay? All right, guys, so I did Google it. This is how you pronounce it.
Amygdala.
Okay, so it sounds like I pronounced it correctly, but that specifically is basically a roughly almond-shaped mass of gray matter inside each cerebral hemisphere involved with the experience of emotions, okay? So I'm sorry, that was going to eat me alive. I had to throw that in there. Okay, on to the next slide. All right, so now we are going to discuss if you are running your life or if your life is running you. All right, so you're pretty much running your life if you pretty much make choices on purpose and not just out of habit. I wanted to go in a little bit more depth with that statement within itself. Pretty much making choices on purpose pretty much entails being conscious, deliberate, and intentional in your decision-making skills, aligning actions with your values, goals, and aspirations rather than letting habits or unconscious biases dictate your behavior. I felt like that was very, very, very important. All right, so on to the next. You know your values and goals and act towards them. You can say no when something doesn't fit, so not being a people pleaser, as stated before in last presentation. Learning when to say no and actually standing on business and giving that energy out like I said no. It doesn't matter. You don't have to. We're not here to please everybody. You got to know what works for you. What are your non-negotiables? What are your do's and your don'ts? You don't have to be a yes person just to please the next person. And I'm also going to mention that in a few seconds as well. You can have distress, but don't let it control you. You feel present and in charge most of the time of your life. Now, this is how you know if your life is running you. You're always reacting and not deciding. You feel rushed, drained, or stuck. You say yes to please others or avoid conflict, as stated before. You chase what others expect of you instead of what actually matters to you. And you really pause to think. You're basically just surviving, just going with the flow. We don't want that. We want intention. We want to know what we are doing. You get what I'm saying? We want to know what our next move is going to be. And we're not just out here acting irrationally, acting before we speak, because we're potentially going to put ourselves in a predicament to where we mess up a potential opportunity that could take us to the next level. So we don't want that. All right. So how to take back control if you feel as though that your life is running you. Pause and ask yourself, is this really what I want? It is vital for you to ask those difficult questions to yourself. I'm always going to push that. Ask yourself those difficult questions, because you will be surprised what your tolerance actually is and what you actually want out of life. I said it before, set small goals that matches up to your core values. If it doesn't align, it's not for you, but you have to identify what those are before you can proceed. Reflect daily. What did I choose today? It is vital for us to also reflect. Like I stated before, the world is constantly changing. We are constantly changing as human beings. We need to know what we do and what we do not like so that we can prosper and get to that next level within self, spiritually, physically, the whole 10. All right, so now we are going to be discussing the 5 M's of improvement, okay? So those entail pretty much mouth, mind, mood, manner, and money, okay? So mouth, mind, mood, manner, and money. Okay, so mouth, controlling one's speech by thinking before speaking and avoiding negative talk like gossiping complaints. This emphasizes communication and the power of your words. I'm pretty sure we all heard our parents say our tongue is powerful, right? So we have to watch what we say. We have to watch what we pretty much put out into the universe because, as stated before, whatever you're putting out, you're going to eventually have it gravitate back to you because that's the energy and the vibrations that you are putting out into the universe. We want to put out good qualities, so good qualities and good people can come back to us, okay? All right, so mind, cultivating a positive and intentional mindset to help navigate challenges more effectively. It encourages focusing on solutions rather than problems. With this life, with nowadays society, we're bound to go through or to come across some problems, but we have to put ourselves in a position to come up with a solution. Like, we don't want to be engulfed in that type of energy. We want to pretty much bring good energy back to us. We want to put out good energy so that good energy can come back to us. We want to pretty much focus on the solution. If it happened, okay, let's go ahead and come up with a game plan so that we can get to our end goal. We don't want to be engulfed in that type of energy. All right, so mood. Excuse me. Managing emotions and responses to stress. It involves consciously choosing how to react to situations and striving for inner peace. You have to protect your peace at all costs. Please, please, please understand that managing how you feel is pretty much the gate code. It's the code. It pretty much shows you. It puts you in a position to kind of like dissect and know how you feel. Like, how we view things, it kind of triggers back down to emotion and our mindset. You get what I'm saying? So once we have that emotional structure and that emotional intelligence, it'll pretty much have us also view and look at things a lot differently. Alrighty, so how to handle peer pressure and not hiding from the world. A lot of people hide from the world. They do. I did. When I was finding myself, when I had to rebuild myself, I hid for a little bit. And I mean, it wasn't more so me hiding because God, like as stated before, God puts you through an isolation period. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes you got to take that step back because he's guiding you to take that step back so that you can reflect and actually figure out who you are so he can work on your mind. But I mean, I would kind of see that as hiding from the world, but I don't know. Let's go ahead and get into it. We'll go into depth. All right, so handling peer pressure starts with knowing who you are. So know who you are as a person inside and out. So that way can't nobody tell you about you. Okay? And what you stand for. When you have clear values, it's easier to say no to things that don't feel right. Surround yourself with people who respect your choices and encourage your growth. If people are not encouraging this new version of you, your growth, your new choices of life, they're not for you. Everybody is not meant to be with you through every season. Sometimes you gotta shed some people. You gotta shed that dead weight. It's gonna hurt because sometimes majority of the time it comes from people that you wouldn't think about cutting off. But in order for you to grow, I'm telling you, sometimes you gotta choose you and actually cut them off and move to that next level of life. Oh well. All right, so yes, surround yourself with people who respect your choices and encourage your growth. It's also important not to hide from the world. Facing challenges helps you build confidence and resilience instead of avoiding judgment or fear. Stay true to yourself. Speak up and make decisions that reflect your character. Real strength is standing firm even when it's hard. I had a lot of people against me. And at one point in my life, I ain't gonna lie, it kind of hit me. It hit me like, dang, I know what I'm doing is right, but I ain't stopped. Like, I had to keep going. I had to keep going because God gave me the confirmation that what I was doing was right. And that was honestly at the time all the confirmation I needed. So when you know that you are doing something right and you standing in your truth, and everybody else against you, don't let their intervene with how you view yourself. Don't let that intervene with how you view the world, and don't let that discourage you from continuing to step in following your truth, like following your purpose. Illusions can trap you in fear because illusions hide basically your reality. It pretty much takes away from the truth. So at first, it pretty much brings you comfort, pretending that everything is fine or under control, pretty much making it feel safe temporarily. But deep down, eventually you're going to have to face it because it's obviously not true. And then it pretty much breeds the tension of that fear. You get what I'm saying? Like the more you cling to the actual illusion itself, pretty much it puts you in a position to be more afraid of actually facing the truth. You get what I'm saying? Fear pretty much protects the illusion. And pretty much keeping you stuck in small. We don't want to be small. We want to think outside of the box. We want big. We want big. We want massive. You get what I'm saying? We don't want to be stuck inside of the box. We want to bring out that creativity. We don't want that. All right. So basically, bringing awareness to the illusions breaks the cycle. So when you face reality, when you are able to face the truth and actually walk in your truth and actually speak truth and actually live it and walk it and understand it, that's when your freedom begins. I know we all heard that saying, the truth will set you free, baby. It will. I promise you. Because once you stand in your truth and you know who you are inside and out, can't nobody tell you about yourself. You get what I'm saying? You're not stuck in an illusion. You're not putting up a facade. You get what I'm saying? You're actually living who you are inside and out. You have to learn how to accept things for what they are. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, life goes on. Don't sit stagnantly in nothing negative. You did something wrong. Okay, cool. On to the next. I'm learning. You've learned from your mistake. You assessed it. You know what not to do moving forward. And just keep pushing forward. Like, know you inside and out, flaws and all, baby. Once you know that, can't nobody tell you about you. As stated before. All right, so I pretty much covered all of my, I got one last quote that I want to give to you guys. Protecting your energy means honoring your peace, okay? Again, protecting your energy means honoring your peace. Keeping your dignity means remembering your worth even when others forget it. So when other people forget your boundaries, when other people forget your worth, it's okay to remind folk. They got their own life that they live in. We got our own life that we live in. It's okay to remind them. Just because you told someone, if somebody's for you, you won't have to continuously remind them. I'm going to throw that out there. Okay? But we all got life. We all going through life. Sometimes people forget. You get what I'm saying? So remind them. Remind them, especially if you're growing and you're blossoming into someone new. Remind them who you are. Remind them your new boundaries and so forth. Okay? All right. Thank you, guys. All right, guys. So before I let y'all go, I wanted to talk about this book. Okay, so this book has helped me tremendously. I already told you guys about The Wheels of Life. But this right here is, I'm talking about straight brain food. Okay, straight brain food. The power of your subconscious mind. Now, I know my book look raggedy, baby, but I'm telling you, when I say I've been on it, honey, I've been reading this nonstop. When I say, of course, you go through life, but it's like a message with each stage of life that you're going through. I would highly, 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 highly recommend this book. I'm going to keep it still so y'all can take a screenshot, do whatever you got to do. Okay? But baby, when I say this is a good word. It's a good word. I would definitely recommend it.